Hello YouTubers, this is 777 Die Hard Forever, coming at you with another highly anticipated and highly recommended model as I continue to play catch up. Today I'll be doing a review on a JC Wings Varig Boeing 777-200ER in their very last livery scheme in a 1/200 scale model. I purchased this model off eBay because that's the only place I can get it at the time because the majority of dealers are pretty much sold out of this model. But before I go into details about this particular aircraft model, please allow me to share some information about the history of Varig and how they actually came about. Varig, which is the acronym for Viaco Aérea Rio Grandense, was a South American-based airline that was founded on May 7, 1927 in Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil, by the late Otto Meyer Labasti, who was a decorated German aviator during World War I, who immigrated to Brazil in 1921 and began to realize that air transportation was necessary needed for a country like Brazil. As Varig was actually an offspring of the German trade company and airline Condor Syndicate, thus sharing the same origin as Syndicator Condor, which was later renamed as Serviços Aéreos Cruzeiro do Sul, and officially commenced operations the following month on June 22, 1927, with its first inaugural flight was from Porto Alegre to Rio Grande via Pilatos, using a 10-passenger Dornier, DOJ wall-flying boat that was actually transferred from the assets of Condor Syndicate, which allowed Varig and its sister company Sindicato Condor to operate a temporary partnership after Condor Syndicate gave the initial operational and financial support, as Varig became the very first airline that was actually founded in Brazil. Varig was actually the national flag carrier airline for the country of Brazil, as well as the largest operating airline in Latin and South America up until 1991, when the Brazilian air sector was eventually deregulated, which allowed new as well as established airlines to expand into the Brazilian air market that eventually became more open to U.S.-based airlines such as Pan Am, which ended the state-chartered monopoly of Varig's flights to, from, and within the country of Brazil. Then fast forward 14 years later. That's when the Brazilian carrier Varig filed for bankruptcy in commercial bankruptcy and reorganization court in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil on June 17, 2005, under the protection of judicial restructuring, which allowed the airline to continue to operate despite the financial hardship that the airline was enduring at the time. But unfortunately, after two unsuccessful attempts to auction off the airline as a collective whole, the bankruptcy court decided that it was time to split the airline into two different judicial entities that was informally known as the old Varig, which officially ceased operations in 2008, and the new Varig, which was integrated into GOL Airlines in 2008, and as a result, Varig entered airline administration as this iconic airline eventually ceased operations officially on July 20, 2006. Which was officially concluded after 79 years of great service for the South American-based carrier. Whereas the headquarters of Varig was first located in the Porto Alegre state of Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil, then moved its headquarters to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil sometime in the 1960s, where the Varig headquarters remained at up until the airline's demise in 2006, while the airline's main hub and base of operations was located on the grounds of Rio de Janeiro Galileo Antonio Carlos Jobim International Airport, which is located approximately 11.8 miles northwest of the city center district section of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, which is located in the North Zone neighborhood area of Galileo. And prior to the Brazilian carrier Varig ceasing its entire airline operations on July 20, 2006, the airline previously flew to 107 destinations across 5 inhabited continents, with an operating fleet of 92 aircraft that included 8 Boeing 777-200ERs, including this one you're looking at here, with no unfulfilled orders pending on this particular aircraft type, as Varig is no longer operating as a major airline carrier at the time of this video review posted. And the Boeing customer code for Varig on this particular aircraft was 22, since this particular aircraft was first delivered to United Airlines. So with that said, let's take a look at the front of the box. What you're looking at the top of it is the aircraft type, Boeing 777-200ER, the airline's logo, the Varig Brazil title, the computer-generated picture of the aircraft, the Boeing official license product decal and the information down there, as well as the 1/200 scale diecast aircraft model information you see at the front of the box. Now you're looking at the back of the box, and what you see is the airline's logo, the Varig Brazil title, the computer generated picture of the aircraft, the width and the lift of the aircraft, the warning information, the aircraft type, as well as the specification concerning this particular aircraft. You can pause and read this informative information if you like. In the meantime, I'm going to keep this moving. Alright, now you're looking at the top of the box. What you see is the aircraft type, Boeing 777-200ER, the airline's logo, the Varig Brazil title, as well as the 1/200 scale diecast aircraft model information you see at the top of the box. Alright, now you're looking at the bottom of the box. It's pretty much the same information at the top of the box I showed you earlier on. Okay. Alright, now you're looking at the nice little metal model stand that actually came with the model. And then the bottom of the model stand, you see the Varig title, the aircraft type, as well as the scale model information. Then you come up here at the top, and what you see there is the black padding. And the sole purpose of that black padding, everyone, is not only to protect your model, it also prevents it from being damaged or scratched when you decide you want to put your model on this particular model stand. Okay. Alright, now you're looking at this plastic bag here, and what you're looking at inside this plastic bag are the actual gear replacement doors, featuring the two little toothpicks for these gear replacement doors. Please stay tuned as I go into detail for the sole purpose of these gear replacement doors for this particular aircraft model. Okay. Alright, with all that information out of the way about the history of Varig and how they actually came about, but unfortunately they're no longer operating as an airline as we speak, plus all the details here at the front of the box, plus the information at the back of the box, plus the actual model stand that came with the model, as well as the gear replacement doors inside that plastic bag. But with no further ado, everyone, here is the actual model out of the packaging box. Let's check it out. There it is, everyone, the JC Wings Varig Boeing 777-200ER in their last livery scheme in a 1/200 scale model. Alright, allow me to go into some information about this livery scheme you see displayed on this aircraft. This was the very last livery scheme for the Brazilian-based airline Varig, which was unveiled in December 1996, then was remodified again sometime in 2003, along with the iconic Compass Rose logo that's actually painted on the tail fin of the aircraft, which has been the actual signature logo for the Brazilian-based airline since 1954. That was also remodified and repainted in the colors of yellow and gold, as the Varig Billboard title font was also enlarged and moved towards the front sectional part of the fuselage. Whereas the characteristic Brazil signature title font can actually be displayed and visibly seen underneath the enlarged Varig Billboard title font that also features a light blue cheat line strip that separated the color white, which is displayed on the fuselage of the aircraft, from the dark color blue, which is displayed on the underbelly sectional part of the aircraft, as the Brazilian-based airline Varig supported this particular livery scheme up until the Brazilian-based airline officially ceased operations on July 20th, 2006, as this particular livery scheme was actually redesigned by the consultancy firm of Landor Associates, whose global headquarters is located in San Francisco, California. So, with all that information out there about this nice looking livery scheme, let us get down to business and let me show you all the details on this aircraft model. Shall we? Let's check it out. Alright, now you're looking at the front of the aircraft here on the port/left side. We're going to start at the front here. We see the front nose landing gears, the landing gear struts, the landing gear door featuring the partial registration ship number RF, the pitot tubes and the static ports, the radome nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit windows. I'm going to give you a better visual view of those details later on in the model review. Please stay tuned for that part. But right next to the L1 entrance door, as well above the blue cheat line, is the Boeing 777-200ER decal, which is this decal here. I'm going to bring it up a little closer. Check it out. Alright, there it is, the Boeing 777-200ER decal. The Boeing 777-200ER extended range jetliner aircraft also represented another significant milestone in the history of Varig, as the Brazilian-based airline actually became the very first airline in Latin America that acquired this prestigious state-of-the-art aircraft, as Varig took delivery of their very first Boeing 777-300ER extended range jetliner aircraft, which bared the registration ship number PP-VRA on November 2nd, 2001, and took delivery of their very last Boeing 777-200ER extended range jetliner aircraft, which bears the registration ship number PP-VRJ on April 8, 2005. Varig was originally scheduled to receive as many as 10 of these iconic Boeing 777s to add to their fleet, but unfortunately, due to the financial crisis that was eventually taking place at the Brazilian-based airline that affected the company's inability to pay for their aircraft leasing, the final 2 aircraft were never received, and as a result, Varig only ended up operating a total of only 8 of these iconic Boeing 777s in their fleet. Overall, up until the airline officially ceased operations on July 20, 2006, as Varig's entire Boeing 777 fleet has since been sent to either long-term storage or has ultimately been scrapped and broken up altogether. Alright, we stay at the front of the aircraft here on the port side, and what you're looking at is the Varig Billboard title, the Varig Brazil Billboard title, which is this Billboard title there. This was the acronym for the Brazilian-based airline Varig, which literally stood for Vico Aéreo Rio Grandense from 1927 up until 2008, which was pronounced in the Portuguese language. Okay, and then we're gonna slide up here, right under the engines here, and what you're looking at, the outer triple landing bogey gears here, including the landing gear struts as well as the landing gear door. But more important, these big massive engines you're looking at right here, the engine cones right there. And these were the Pratt & Whitney PW4090 turbofan type engines that was used on this particular Varig Boeing 777-200ER extended range jetliner aircraft. Now we're gonna see we're gonna turn this aircraft mount and see if the turbofan blades do spin. You also see the Pratt & Whitney logo you see displayed there as well. So let's check out the front of the engines on this aircraft. All right, now you're looking at the front of the aircraft here on the port side, featuring the air deflectors, the engine strikes right there. And now let's see if the turbofan blades actually spin on this side of the aircraft. Oh, yes, they do. Perfect. Then you see the inboard landing light right there, as well as the front visual view of the landing bogey gears on this side of the aircraft, which features the landing gear struts as well as the actual landing gear doors. All right, now you're looking at the front of the engines here on the starboard stairs right side of the aircraft, featuring the air deflector / engine strikes right there as well. And let's see if the fan blades spin over here as well. Perfect. Awesome. Then you see the inboard landing light right there, as well as the front visual view of the landing bogey gears, include the landing gear struts as well as the actual landing gear doors. All right, now you're looking at the front of the aircraft, where you got a better visual view of the cockpit windows, the windshield wipers, the radome nose cone, the nose gear landing gear door, the landing gear lights inside of the landing gear door, the landing gear struts, as well as the front visual view of the front nose landing gears. All right, now you're looking at the edge of the wing on this side of the aircraft, the port side, where the red navigation light right here. Now, there's a difference between the 200ER variant and the 200LR variant. The difference is the 200LR variant has the rake wingtip. The 200ER, as you see there, does not. Now you know the difference. All right, we're at the back of the aircraft here on the port side, and right above the windows is the actual registration ship number, PP-VRF. Registration ship number PP-VRF. PP-VRF. This particular aircraft was actually the 6th Varig Boeing 777-200ER extended range jetliner aircraft that actually entered the Brazilian-based airline's fleet. And the first test flight on this aircraft took place on October 19, 1999, and was first delivered to United Airlines on November 12, 1999. Then this aircraft was eventually sold off to Varig on December 9, 2004, and operated in the Varig fleet up until the airline officially ceased operations on July 20, 2006. Then this aircraft was eventually seized by U.S. Bank shortly thereafter on June 19, 2007, then was leased out to now defunct Russian-based airline Transaerial Airlines on December 17, 2009, and operated in the Transaerial fleet up until it was eventually withdrawn from service on October 22, 2015. Then was flown to an aircraft storage facility that's located on the grounds of Turiel Airport, which is located in Turiel, Spain, 2 days later on October 24, 2015, where this particular aircraft remained stored up at until it was eventually broken up and scrapped altogether sometime in May 2019. All right, we still at the back of the aircraft, and right next to the registration ship number is the actual Brazilian flag decal, which is this decal right here. And this flag decal represents the country where Varig previously operated from as the former national flag carrier airline for the country of Brazil for 79 years, from 1927 up until the airline officially ceased operations on July 20th, 2006. And then now looking at the tail fin of the aircraft, featuring the partial registration ship number up there, RF. But more importantly, the iconic corporate airlines logo displayed here on the tail fin of the aircraft there. And this was the third and final revised version of Varig's famous Compass Rose logo, in which the iconic logo was originally created in 1954 by former Varig supervisor Nelson Jungbluth. And even though it was created in 1954, the Compass Rose actually didn't begin to appear on Varig's aircraft fuselage until 1961 after the purchase of Aerovias National Airlines, as this iconic symbol was the airline's official logo for 42 years, from 1954 up until Varig officially ceased operation in 2006. All right, now looking at the APU auxiliary power unit exhaust hole right here. And above the APU exhaust hole is a strobe light right there, as well as the entire aircraft from the rear view angle. Let's check it out. There it is, everyone. The Varig Boeing 777-200ER in their last livery scheme in a 1:20 scale from the rear view angle. All right, now you're looking at the front of the aircraft here on the starboard / right side. We're going to start at the front here. The front nose landing gears, the landing gear struts, the landing gear door featuring the partial registration ship number on that nose gear door, RF. See the pewter tubes, the static ports, the radome nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit windows, the Boeing 777-200ER decal, the Varig Brazil title right there, the Billboard title, the front cargo container loading door, the inboard landing light right there, the Pratt & Whitney engines right there featuring the Pratt & Whitney logo, the engine cones, as well as the triple landing bogey gears from the side visual view, including the landing gear struts as well as the landing gear doors. All right, now looking at the edge of the wing on this side of the aircraft, featuring the green navigation light you see displayed there on the edge of the wing. All right, now looking at the back of the aircraft, and what you're looking at is the rear cargo container loading door, the AFT boat bin door, the registration ship number, the Brazilian flag decal, as well as the airline's logo displayed on the blue tail fin of the aircraft, and the partial registration seats sit there as well, RF. All right, before I show you this aircraft model from the aerial bird's eye view as well as the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft model in full detail, please allow me to let you check out one feature, which is the rolling gears. So I'm going to let you check them out right now. Gears kind of rough there. It rolls to say the least a little bit, but it does tilt. The front nose gear swivels as well. A little rough there as well. But you get the idea. You gotta be careful with that gear though. But other than that, with no further ado, let us check this aircraft model from the aerial bird's eye view. Let's check it out. All right, now looking at this aircraft model from the aerial bird's eye view, we're gonna start at the front, where you see the radome nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit windows. Then you slide up this way, see the anti-collision beacon light, the high frequency antenna. Then you see the Varig title on both sides, the ADF antenna, a couple more high frequency antennas, and then there's a registration ship number as well as the Brazilian flag decal on both sides. Then there's the vertical stabilizer known as the tailfin, and as well as the horizontal stabilizer. See the dual dots right there, as well as over here as well. Those actual dots are actually called illuminator lights, and the sole purpose of those illuminator lights that it used to light up this tail here when it used to fly during nighttime. Now let's check out the wings and the engines from above. See the engines right there, the Pratt & Whitney engines, as well as the wings here. No wing walkway, but you got the no step warning information, includes the flap, slats, ailerons, spoilers, what have you. Fuel dump valve, as well as the edge of the wingtip on here. See the strobe light there. Let's check out over here. See the engines right there, as well as the wing. No wing walkway, but you got the you have the no step warning information, as well as the flap, slats, ailerons, spoilers, what have you. fuel dump valve, as well as the edge of the wingtip, featuring the strobe light on the edge of that wingtip as well. Now I'm looking at the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft model, where it's mostly blue. We're going to start at the front there. We see the radome nose cone, the crew escape hatch door, the front nose landing gear door, as well as the front nose landing gear. And then we slide up this way. The anti-collision beacon light, the model hole where the model stand goes in at. Then we come back this way, a couple more high frequency antennas, pressure relief valve, as well as the APU housing doors and the horizontal stabilizers underneath there as well. Now let's check out the gears. Gears still pretty good. The Pratt & Whitney engines, as well as the wings underneath, includes the flaps, slats, ailerons, spoilers, what have you. The partial registration ship number on there. The fuel dump valve, as well as the edge of the wing, featuring the strobe light on the edge of that wingtip. Now let's step out over here. You see the engines right there. Then the gears right here. Tilt perfect. As well as the wings underneath. Include the flaps, slats, ailerons, spoilers, what have you. Partial registration ship number. Fuel dump valve, as well as the edge of the wing, featuring the strobe light on the edge of the wingtip on this side of the aircraft as well. Alright, since I show you the aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft model, as well as the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft model in full detail, now I'm going to put it on that nice little metal model stand I showed you earlier. You see there? With no further ado, everyone, here is the model on the stand. Let's check it out. Okay, fine, got this model on stand, no problem, no hesitation, as you see it being displayed in the takeoff landing position with the model on the stand. Now I'm going to let this model rotate in the clockwise rotation in all angles, starting with the port side. The tail cam angle. The starboard side. The front of the aircraft, as well as back to the port side of the aircraft. Okay, before I take this model to stand, I got it in this position at this angle for a reason, and the reason is the actual magnetic gears that came with the model. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off, let you see what I'm talking about. We're going to start the front nose landing gear right here. There, that's magnetic. The gear here on this side of the aircraft, there, that's magnetic, as well as the gears on the starboard side there, that's magnetic as well. All right, now I'm gonna let you see this aircraft model at a different angle in flight mode / gears up position with the model stand. Let's check it out. All right, now you're seeing this model being displayed on the model stand in flight mode / gears up position without the gears. Now you got one or two options how you want to continue to display this model. If you want to continue to display it like this, that's fine. You see these gear replacement doors that I showed you earlier. That's the sole purpose of these gear replacement doors, so you can substitute your gears while you display your model like this in flight mode / gears up position without the gears. Or you can do like I do, just keep them in the gear down position. Gears up, gear down, your choice. I choose to leave mine on there because it adds more value to the model. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put these gears back on this model, take this model off the stand, and go ahead and wrap up this model review. Alright, the seating configuration. Prior to July 20th, 2006, the Brazilian-based airline Varig had 4 seating configurated cabin layout versions that they previously utilized on their Boeing 777-200ER extended range jetliner aircraft. However, on this particular Varig Boeing 777-200ER extended range jetliner aircraft, it seated 276 passengers in a 3-class configurated cabin layout. Here's the breakdown, everyone, from rows 1 to 3, which will be from here to about right here. You had 12 first class seats, rows 8 to 15, which will be from here all the way back to about right here. You had an additional 46 business class seats, and row 17 to 43, which will be from here all the way back to the rear of the aircraft. You had an additional 215 economy class seats, which brought the total to 276 seats. And finally, Varig previously utilized their entire fleet of Boeing 777-200ERs from 2001 up until the airline officially ceased operations in 2006 on routes from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, to Amsterdam Schiphol, Netherlands, Aruba, Asuncion, Paraguay, Bogota, Colombia, Brasilia, Brazil, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Cancun, Mexico, Caracas, Venezuela, Copenhagen, Denmark, Cordoba, Spain, Frankfurt, Germany, Lisbon, Portugal, La Paz, Mexico, Lima, Peru, London, Heathrow, Los Angeles, California, Madrid, Spain, Manaus, Brazil, Mexico City, Mexico, Miami, Florida, Milan, Malpensa, Montevideo, Uruguay, Munich, Germany, Nagoya, Japan, New York, JFK, Paris, Charles de Gaulle, Porto Alegre, Brazil, Punta de Este, Uruguay, Santiago, Chile, Santa Cruz de Sierra, Bolivia, Sao Paulo, Brazil, and Tokyo, Narita, and from Sao Paulo, Brazil to Amsterdam, Schiphol, Netherlands, Madrid, Spain, Manaus, Brazil, Paris, Charles de Gaulle, and Rio de Janeiro. Those were the routes. Well, everyone, this will conclude this model review. I'd like to know if you got this model already or you plan on getting it, if you can find it. As I mentioned earlier, your only outside chance of getting this model is on eBay. Other than that, you're pretty much out of luck. So if you can find it, please snatch it up. I highly recommend it. I've been waiting on this model for a very long time. So with that said, please take care. God bless. Stay tuned. There's more model content coming. And above all, everyone, please stay safe out here. Peace.